Hi everyone, I'm Chef Susie. Welcome to our session this morning. This morning we're going to be making the English trifle. Super simple, it's just 3 different ingredients layered in a nice stem bowl. And I'm going to be using a clear bowl, that's what's typically used for the trifle. And I'm going to be layering sponge cake, cream, and fresh fruit. I'm going to be soaking my cake with a little bit of Amaretto, but if you don't want to use a liqueur, you can always use something like raspberry sauce or even vanilla sauce. So knowing all that, let's get started. So for some of my ingredients, I've got some cake cubed. I chose chocolate cake. You could use yellow, marble, orange, lemon, whatever you like. And for my cream, I've got some pastry cream that I made earlier. This is nice and cool. What I did is I stirred it up really good with a whip before we started so it would be smooth. You know how pastry cream has a tendency to kind of almost lump up when it cools, so you just kind of have to mix those small soft lumps out to make it nice and smooth. So go ahead and do that. And I've got some whipped cream that I made earlier, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this into my pastry cream, and this is going to give us a nice light pastry cream for our trifle filling. You can go ahead and use your pastry cream straight if you like, or you can add more whipped cream. Like a lot of things that we do, the variations and how you do this are really limitless. So I'm just kind of showing you how I like to make it to give you a start, but definitely make your own variations on this. It's a super easy, fun dessert to make. You just need a few ingredients prepared, and your fresh fruit is what really makes this trifle. It's going to make it beautiful. It's great for any time of year, holds up really well. It's going right in a bowl. You can take it on some of your warmer outings with you. Don't leave it out too long because you've got your egg-based pastry cream, but since it's in the bowl, it's not going to melt at all. It's safe. Great for the holidays. You can use your fruits as coloring. Kiwi and the strawberry like we're using today is nice for Christmas time, or even the strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for the 4th of July. So let's go ahead and set our cream aside, and I'm going to pull my bowl up and we're going to get started. So this is the classic trifle bowl. Straight sides, stem bottom, clear glass. You can really make this dessert in any bowl that you like. Sometimes I make mine in I have a crystal ice bucket that I make it in, and it looks super beautiful as well. So definitely explore some different shapes and sizes. But if you want your fruit to show up around the outside, the work that you're doing, make sure you're using something glass. And these straight up edge bowls are nice too, but you can use a bowl that goes out as well. You'll also see these in individual portions, which are super cute too. I picked up some at Walmart, and they're by Anchor Hawking, and they're great, and they're inexpensive. Nice thick glass, holds up really well in the dishwasher too. So let's get started. What we're going to be doing is we're just going to be layering our cake, our fruit, and our cream. I always start with my cake, but like I said, the variations are limitless. You can do this in any order that you like, any flavors too. So I always start with my cake on the bottom. This way, if I'm leaving my trifle sit overnight, any kind of juice or liquid from the fruits that I'm putting in here, it's just going to go down to the bottom, and the cake's going to absorb it nicely. So you don't have to be fussy about this because it's kind of just all getting not really squished together in the bowl, but it's definitely going in the bowl. So let's go ahead and put some kiwis around the outside, and then you're going to see what I mean about this nice layering with the fruit. They hold up just fine. You don't have to worry about getting this too perfect. It's just really going to look pretty no matter what you do, and people are going to be impressed with you with your trifle. And sometimes these fruits will slide down a little bit. That's okay. That's just the beauty of the trifle. So I also have some bananas and some raspberries that we can use for our layering, and some strawberries and some oranges too. So definitely type any questions into the chat. If you've got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Okay, like I said, you don't have to worry about fussing too much with this. Just get a nice layer of your fruit around the outside, and that's what's really going to make all the prettiness. So I've got some bananas that I'm going to be putting in next, and the bananas, I always put those in the interior because they have a tendency to turn brown. This way you can make your trifle ahead of time. So definitely put those in the middle. So I've got some kiwis I'm going to be putting in here too. And before we put our bananas in, I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle some Amaretto. So I'm using Amaretto. It's Italian almond liqueur. There's several different brands to use. They're all pretty good. And it's sweet liqueur. You can use any liqueur, or like I said, you could use some type of fruit sauce or creme anglaise too. So another liqueur that's nice is a Kahlua. Sambuca is nice too, and even some rum. Frangelico and Grand Marnier are nice as well. So you don't have to fuss about this too much, sprinkling it, because we're just going to be adding our creams and stuff too. But definitely get some on there for some flavor. Okay, let's go ahead and cut up some bananas. We'll put these in the bottom. And this trifle is great if you leave it sit for a few hours. If you don't serve it right away, that kind of allows those flavors to kind of steep in a little bit. But you can serve it right away if you like. Okay, so I've got some bananas. Just chopping them up, and I'm going to be dropping them in the bowl. Next, we're going to be putting a layer of pastry cream. And I think we've got enough banana there too. Let's kind of break these up. You might have room for a little bit more. I'm kind of being careful if I can to keep them away from the sides in case they turn brown. This way they're not going to show up. We'll just put a couple more pieces of banana in, and then we'll be ready to go. And like I said, please let me know if you have any questions. Sometimes I kind of push that down a little bit too. Okay, next comes the pastry cream. Go ahead and move this over. Just going to spoon it in. You can bag it in if you like. That's okay too. I usually just spoon it in. And then what I'll do is I'll spread it around, and then I'll be ready for my next layer. So it's looking super pretty, easy to make. The pastry cream is one of the assignments in the program, and some of you have made it. It's pretty easy to do, but if you need any help with your pastry cream, be sure to let me know. I like using the stem because I can hold the bottom and kind of move it around and then get my pastry cream in there evenly. Okay. Any questions on anything so far? Okay, next we're going to be going forward with some more cake. Okay, I'm kind of being careful to keep this in the middle on this layer because I'm going to be putting some strawberries around. Okay, depending on how much cake, you can either use an 8-inch round or a 10-inch round and then just cut it up. Or you could, that kind of gives you an idea of how much you need, but you could cut up a square sheet cake too. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some of these strawberries around. And we're also going to be layering some of the mandarin oranges. These are a super pretty color for the trifle. A nice effect with the orange and the red. So definitely let me know if you have any questions, and perhaps if you made trifle before, you can give us some of your ideas as well. It's a pretty common dessert. You've seen it out there a lot, and you'll see it in a lot of cookbooks too, especially around the holidays with the red and the green. So our trifle's looking good, and what's nice too, if you If you plan to use some sauce instead of liqueur, if you use a redder sauce like a raspberry or a strawberry, that kind of seeps to the sides a little bit and it just adds some extra prettiness. So I definitely recommend trying that sometime as well. I'm trying to pick out some strawberries that are kind of the same size, but no worries, it's still going to look beautiful even if everything doesn't match all together. So we're coming around. And like I said, I like these stem bowls because you can actually kind of move it around a little bit easier. So our trifle's looking pretty good. Oops. Kind of went out of order there for a minute. It's easy to do. And I'll be putting some fruit and amaretto in the center, and then we'll be finishing our trifle. Okay, great. It's looking good. Let's go ahead and put some of these oranges. I'm going to fill in a little bit. And we'll go ahead and put some of our amaretto next. Just kind of sprinkle it in. I have a little cup. And next we'll put some of these strawberries in here too. And then I kind of press it down in this stage. Oops, I got a couple of whole berries in there. Okay, it's looking really good. So let's go ahead and put our last layer of cream. And then we'll be ready to decorate our trifle. Just gonna finish this off, cover the whole top. And then we're just gonna be putting some whipped cream that I made earlier. I just whipped up all of the cream in the recipe, and then I separated it and put some in a pastry bag. They're just gonna be piping our cream around to decorate the top of the trifle. So it's nice and easy to make. And I like to put a lot of pastry cream in mine, but you can definitely go heavier on your fruit and lighter on your layers of cream if you like. So I just kind of do my shells around for a nice look, and then I'm going to be putting some fruit on top. And I've got some raspberries to decorate the top with. And please let me know how you're doing with your trifles, and definitely if you have any questions on anything. So I've got some raspberries, and I'm just going to be filling in the center with my raspberries. They're super beautiful. I've got some blueberries on the side here too. So it's a nice variety of fruits. Easy to make. You just need a bowl, some cake, some whipped cream, pastry cream, and fruits. You could even do this with a single fruit if you kind of wanted something a little more striking. And you could even add some nuts to the top if you like. I like to kind of mound these up pretty good. Let's go ahead and sprinkle a few blueberries on top too. There's some extra color. And then I've got a couple of kiwis I'm going to cut and put on here too. So it's looking good already. And like I said, wasn't it easy to make? It's a few simple ingredients and you're on your way. I'm just going to cut up some of these kiwis and kind of stick them around the top. For a nice little green color to our trifle. It's looking super refreshing. So definitely try the English trifle. And we're getting ready to say our goodbyes. So if you have any questions, be sure to let me know. I'm going to cut up a couple more kiwi, put them on, and then we're going to say our goodbyes. Okay, great. So this is our trifle. It's looking super pretty. A nice favorite for any time of the year. And thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.